Just a few weeks ago, we celebrated that the 2K launcher has been removed from Civilization 6 and it will not be released with Civilization 7, but it seems like there was a monkey paw wish because we just found out that Civilization 7 is coming with Denuvo. Now, if you already know what Denuvo is, I'll leave you to your despair, and please make sure that your voice is being heard on this topic, that you do not want Denuvo, but please, and I cannot repeat this enough, do not attack the community team, do not attack the developers. They have nothing to do with this, and you want those people on your side because they're the only people who can really reach out to management to make clear to them that Denuvo is something you do not want. For everyone else who has never heard of Denuvo and is wondering, what is this? Let me explain what it does, what it is, what it doesn't do, and why this is a problem for you. So first, what is Denuvo? Denuvo is a DRM, a digital rights management software, or, as they like to fancy themselves, an anti-tamper solution. Those are all just fancy names for copyright protection / a software which is protecting against piracy. Now, the next question you probably have is, how effective is that? Denuvo is super effective. Denuvo nearly has 100% protection rate against pirates and is only failing when somebody failed on the human side of things, when somebody just forgot to literally activate Denuvo when the game released. But beyond that, it is super effective. Okay, well, Mo, look, I don't care. Like, I wouldn't want that my game is being played by pirates, and I'm paying for my games, so why is this a problem for me? Let's talk about what Denuvo does. Denuvo does multiple things to make sure that it is as successful as it is. The first one is, it needs a connection to the Denuvo servers to check on you every few days if you actually have an original copy of the game. If it cannot connect to the servers, it assumes you have a pirated copy and you cannot play your game anymore. And I know that some people will immediately point out, but that's also something Steam does. Yeah, but you can circumvent it easily on Steam. Denuvo, there's no way to circumvent it. The second and much bigger reason is it will utilize your hardware. Let me give you two game examples here. The first one is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They made it so that Denuvo was in the legs of the main characters, so whenever the character was running around, Denuvo would check on you if you actually have an original version. Or in the game Ryme, they put Denuvo into the trees, so whenever you were looking at a tree, Denuvo would check on you, and spoiler, you start in a forest. And what that would do is it would degrade the performance of the games. We had multiple Denuvo games where people were like, hey, the performance is ass, it's because of Denuvo. And the developers were like, nah, this cannot be, no, it's not Denuvo. And then 1 or 2 weeks later, we got a patch where they said, oh, it is Denuvo. Whoops, sorry, our bad, we fixed it. The last game I think I remember clearly was Resident Evil 8. So there are a lot of games where Denuvo is unfortunately using your hardware more. And that means if you are already not on the top of the line when it comes to hardware, you will have probably more performance struggle in those games with Denuvo, and you can even have crashes. And that's something you really don't want. And no, this is an urban legend that Denuvo is burning through your hard drives. We don't really know how this came to be, but over a decade ago, somebody basically made up the whole idea that Denuvo is burning through your hard drive and makes hard drives unusable. It doesn't do that, and we don't need an urban legend for this problem because Denuvo is already creating as many problems as there are. So that is not true, but everything else unfortunately is, and that is a problem. The next thing is, keep in mind that Denuvo is expensive. Denuvo is not coming for free. Depending on the game, Denuvo can cost multiple $1 million, and I can assure you that every company will make that money back through you. So you are basically paying for your own warden. Nobody really needs. Wait, what do you mean by nobody really needs? Like, piracy is a real problem. It might not be. There have been now multiple studies on this topic of how bad piracy is depending on the country you're living in. And I actually put one of those studies down below in the video description if you want to check it out yourself. This is by the European Union, and they made this a few years ago. And because of the results of the study, they actually were hiding that study for years till somebody leaked it, and it was devastating. It was devastating for the companies who were always saying, oh, piracy is so bad. We need more legislation. We need more laws. We have to do more. And it turns out piracy is a non-issue. And in video games, it would actually increase the sale numbers of games. How? Because people use piracy as demos. They use piracy to see if the game is running well on their system. And when they realized, oh, this game is for me, and this game is running well, I would definitely buy it. And yes, that would increase sales. So as crazy as it sounds, Denuvo might actually work against the idea of selling more units, because for people who never cared for the game anyways, they cannot even test it, and so they just move on. So yeah, Denuvo might be the solution for a problem which doesn't exist. Okay, Mole, that's all great, but that's too much. Can you not give me a TLDR? Can you not give me an elevator pitch for all of this? And the answer is, yes, I can. Here's the elevator pitch on why Denuvo is useless. You have to know who developed Denuvo in the first place, and that was Sony. Yes, the Sony. And after a few years, they just realized this is not really what they want, what they need, and they sold it to another company. And now you can take a good educated guess on how many PlayStation games, which all released on the PC since then, have been using Denuvo as a copyright protection. Yeah, that's right. 0. Not a single one of them. Even Sony does see no benefit to use the software on their own games. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Please make your voice heard that you do not want this, but don't attack developers or community people. Please don't do that. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more strategy games like Civilization 7 here on the channel, I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe. With that said, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.